how they try to paint it, the whole world is watching. And it is sad that the world is silent, watching the atrocities committed against the Biafran people. Mazi Simon Ekpa is only asking for the freedom of his own people. He's only defending his own people, trying to save the innocent life that don't waste away. Free Mazi Simon Ekpa now.
Natulaje bwana mabuli vemelema Alugo no bwenui Bwana nukalila ya kala Nerinu mwangule Na wanara na mose vive na kiti enui Natulaje bwana mabuli vemelema Timekwana tola nebovo Timalugo no godo kokodo nyano be hule Dani moda tunilo Naya kalakana kwa lerino mwangulu Ngula matali wanso jere futa mbaka nchuba diali Kama abulezi okwenu Akala kelwego n'ezienwe N'ụbọchị akala kelwego n'odezi Maka na ababane n'ụwa aralu n'unuteyi Ụmụ Biafra kụnyenwe Ụmụ Biafra kụnyenwe Kwani mono no mono nezi biakane nwe Ono nenu lila tono na nagulugu senyi tono nugu banatai Kanyi wele fobi wena tabanu banyo Makana njuko no 1 million we bofu wa mabulezi okwe Naka ni kwata milake kwa waja siyenyi kakezu ezo pabule bewalo tamano Umo Biafra kuyenwe Kanyi welo fobi wena tabano banye Makano fobi abakama Nana nugo nowe Umo Biafra na bekele umulina Nkabo nkanye Mwadati na ijele wanyi biakenemi Okwage bulu kwekene na fandi otu Biafra is our hope And the Biafra is our religion Nkodi na wata chieza muno bibu onye iwere ya Wesi ya kene rugio Adubagwo chukwo Ikemba one of Biafra land mongwem Adawunele kala ya dike Mafondi mojiri diebu bebide biche vele mongwem Abusiku dogweji mali Igbo nine Dogweji malo Biafra biya Dumegwo chukwu Opagisi kene logi Filipu Efyong Abusiku nwoke kwuloku wekusi okwu si na Biafra ekunye Na ya bụ Biafra ya tulugo wenata Na bụrụ na ya bụ Biafra ekunyigo N'ọkọ gụli nwata n'aka na ele Opagisi kene logo onye ndu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Amadike Biafra kede ebe n'olike Amadike Biafra bialulu
He has no jurisdiction to try me. None was whatsoever. I came out of
confused
from my case and cannot try my case. There are things that are happening in this country that a lot of you do not know. It is my duty to make that very, very clear to all of you today. Because the lies are too much. The lies are too much. I sent a petition to for personal gain. Her son and her husband are facing corruption charges. They told them this is what happens. Nobody wants to do That's the problem. They sent her to my case. So
Biafran government they know na exile cabinet na tukuna ndana ya agba unu maka na onye soro bịa ya atọ ka ịmalụ ga-enu eyi jisie n'ike ekene mo ndị Biafran Liberation Army ụmụ Chukwu ndị agents of Biafra land bịa kedenu the great oracles of Biafra na n'unu anu ekene unu n'ama na n'unu jisi ike n'ọrụ Atugu ya gba unu ume ụmụ Chukwu ụmụ Chukwu asị ekene the Prime Minister H.E. Mazi Simon Weba abụzikwa Batobi otu eliri ụmụ Biafra bịa n'ụlọ Anonganga Piotembe will Name. Yes. Maji mwagu kojilo sinodilo kasojilo yatiji sojilo wewalosa Muzikwe wabatobi Pagada gididi kebya nulu Maji wepala niyo Tujine tukunye ndi Biafra na nulu Nuna beke nege Asimono ya dele Biafra ni le namma Asino ya dele ni le namma Mandanye na bono mweno utelanyi welien Mandanye na bono nudonu no mwe Makana mbona boke kwe na bodike Moya na no, moya no A good legacy will last forever, my believer, and the remembrance of my bless you.
Of heaven, the very oldest language on the face of this very earth. Chukwu okike abịa mapụrụ m ihe niile Chineke na onye ndị nsọ na-efe wee na-akpụ isi ala nye onye anyị na-agọzi aha nsọ ya mgbe niile onye anyị na-aja mma wee na-eto anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị anyị anaghị efe arụsị ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onweghị onye kere ya ọ bụ ya mere ndị Igbo ji wee na-etu gị ebighị ebi ndị nsọ na-agba oche eze gị okirikiri ha na-akpụ isi ala nye gị ọbụladị ndị okenye oruo 2 na 4 bụ ndị na-atụ mkpa ọla edo na ala ha niile si na ịdị nsọ Chineke nna nke igwe n'ụtụtụ a ehihie abalị n'ụwa niile bụ ebe ụmụ gị gbasasịrị ka ụkpaka nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka anyị na-akpọkọta ha eze ebube n'ime eluigwe wee na-arịọ gị mma gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị nọ anyị wee na-arịọ ka iru gị wee chaa n'ebe anyị nọ anyị wee na-arịọ gị ezi ebube dị ngọzi ka igwe tinye ọgbaghara n'etiti ndị iro ka ha rabụ ndị kụziri ka ha wee megide anyị onye nwe m na Chineke nna dị nsọ ka aka nsị ndị dị etu a wee baa ha ọnụ ije obodo ekwensu bụ zuu wee laa ya n'iyi anyị wee na-arịọ gị onye na-adịgide ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi biko nụ ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ọsọ ọsọ nna nke ebere na ụmụ gị atakwala n'ahụhụ anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka iwe na anyị ezi echiche na amamihe mmekọrịta nwanne na nwanne ịdị n'otu ọganiru ịhụnanya nke pụrụ iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna ka i wee tinye ụmụ gị ezi mmụọ nke eziokwu ma wezụga anyị aka ajọ ihe n'ime ndụ anyị nna nke ebere dị ngọzi ka ọ ga-abụ n'ikpeta maazị na Biafra ga-abịa anyị ga-aja gị mma wee too gị wee gọzie aha nsọ gị kpee isi ala nye gị bulie aha nsọ gị elu site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi ka a na-arịọ gị ise ise ise. This very morning, all of you, I believe that those who are watching know who we are and why we do what we do. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra all over this very planet Earth, the director of radio Biafra and Biafra television, and by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We are live and we are direct this very morning, afternoon, or night, depending on where you are. And we start this very day by making it abundantly clear that the greatest enemy of a black man is the way that we reason. If not that...
Yes! Let my people go!
To then start comprehending the concept or the ideology that drives the insanity that is Boko Haram. In the north, you have the areas you call the Mohammedan Emirates of the North. These are people who are predominantly, by ancient culture and tradition, Islamic. They are Hausa, Fulani people. In the west, coming down near Lagos, you have the Yoruba people, and in the east you have the Biafran people. Now, the Hausa Fulani people, we are told by the British that they have the right to rule in perpetuity Nigeria. The British in 1953 and 57 were involved in a massive fraud to rig the census results. In other words, they skewed the numbers to always favor the Hausa Fulani people that they may remain in power. And the reason for that is that the British is scared that Biafran people, especially the Igbos, are somehow human, that we can think properly. And we have the oil. The oil wells is in the oil wells, the reserves, everything is where we come from. In Biafra. And the British couldn't retain or sustain their colonial presence in Africa because the USA asked them to leave. So what they now did is to take the control of the oil, hand it over to a group of people they think they can manipulate very easily. That's all. That's what has happened. And now they now believe that they have the right to rule. Unfortunately for them, President Goodluck Jonathan, the incumbent, emerged out of circumstances that could maybe be described as somehow mysterious. He came up as the president, and now they don't like it. 3 people funded Boko Haram: the ex-president, head of state Buhari, another ex-head of state Hausa Fulani Islamic person called Babangida, another vice president Atiku Abubakar. They consciously went out to fund Boko Haram because Buhari said after Jonathan won the 2011 elections that I will make the country ungovernable. He said it openly. And they went ahead to do it by killing poor, defenseless Biafran Christians, because they know that Christians around the world will not come to our rescue.
Yeah.
They also know that no other people will come to our rescue because they don't want us to emerge as a people. That's a problem.
Yeah. So the British don't want you to emerge as a people.
No.
Aha.
That's a problem.
It's a huge problem.
Massive. But this time around, whether they like it or not,
Yeah.
I'm sure the British didn't want the USA to emerge either.
No.
Whether they like it or not, we shall emerge.
Yeah.
Or everything else there will die.
It'll have to. I mean,
Yes.
it's one or the other at this point.
One thing has to happen. Either we have Biafra or we all die. There's no going back this time around. There'll be no exile, no running away. That is our land. We've lived there for thousands of years. That's where we were born. That's where we'll die.
Yeah. Are you all willing to go back and be there?
At the drop of a heart, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a heartbeat.
Yeah.
We'll go there.
And obviously loved ones are there, and
They're there. My parents are there.
Yeah.
My loved ones are there.
Yeah.
And it's a land we've been in for, as I said, thousands
of years, and a history and a rich culture and a vibrant way of life that has literally been
obliterated.
Yeah.
You go to the book of Leviticus. 80% of what you have in the book of Leviticus occurs where I come from. 80%. 80%.
The Levitical law.
Everything. It wasn't us. I strongly believe, this is my hypothesis. Of course, I hold on to it very strongly. As soon as the British discovered in the late 18th century, because the same Hausa Fulani people in Zamfara told them, I think I have the map somewhere in London, that across that river lies what they believe to be part of the lost tribe of Israel, or hell broke loose.
Yeah.
There was then a very systematic and deliberate policy to obliterate our history. The British first said that the Igbos don't have any history. First of all, they removed the name Biafra, which was exactly the name they used to go into treaties with us. They use, you see there clearly written, the chiefs of Ishekiri and Biafra. They then quietly took that away to now only take a component of that, one clan alone, which is Igbo. Because in Biafra, you have the Idoma, you have the Igbo, you have the Bibio, you have the Efik, you have the Izon people, which they call Ijo, you have the Shekiri, you have the Robo, and some parts of Igala.
Wow.
These are the 7 people that make up, these are the 7 tribes that make up Biafra land. The British came, then isolated all the rest, those of our cousins around us, and focused their attention on us. But there's one good thing about it, is that in their amalgamation document that they produced in 1904 or thereabout, which I still have, they made reference, the very first time a European is referring to an African race as great. Yes, the man said the great Igbo race across the Niger. And
is the question. Why is it that the Europeans are afraid of other countries within Africa, may follow up the breakup of Nigeria, and they would want to break up and form their own country? I want you people to ask yourself, why are they thinking like this? Because I have come across a lot of arguments where somebody will say, okay, they want to maintain Nigeria so that, because they are afraid. According to them, during the 1970 Biafra, the issue was that if Biafra, succeeded in breaking away from Nigeria, other African countries will want to follow suit. Now, I ask again, why are they afraid of that? My people, it is not about natural resources. Some people say they are afraid to lose natural resources. It is not afraid to lose natural resources. No. Of course, business is part of it. Business is part of it, which natural resources is also one of the factors. But this is not the issue. The issue here is not about the natural resources. Because anyhow, they are still going to have access to these natural resources. Somehow, they are going to have access to it. But it is not about natural resources. Well, so when natural resources is one compelling factor, but we should go beyond natural resources. It is time we begin to think beyond natural resources. It is not about natural resources. They are afraid of the economic power that will come from Africa when Africa divide along tribal line. Because you see, they know, they are afraid for you to know what they know. So it is not about natural resources. If you are thinking that it is because of natural resources, my brother, somehow you are right, but you are not right completely. You are getting the main point very wrong. The point here is that they are afraid of you adopting the system that made them what they are today. And what is that system? Dividing your country along tribal line. And that is what we want to do. That is exactly the brain we want to bring to Biafra. We want to bring Biafra, and Biafra will be divided along tribal line. That Efik, Ijo, Ichekiri, all these people will be the confederated state of Biafra. You are going to have your own government, your own autonomy, make decision, control your natural resources. If you have 1 trillion ton of whatever you have in your land, you control it. And we are going to have the central government. And it is going to be joint military. The military is going to be like a NATO. If anybody is attacked, the entire Biafra will come. So we are going to have one common defense system. One common defense system. You see, just like this Europe is a little bit different. Europe is, you know, they have countries and all that. And within this country of Europe, there are countries that have autonomy, that have also autonomy within their own countries. Believe me, this is what they don't want us to do. This is what they don't want you to do. The Europeans discover that when they are together as one bunch people with different background, different culture, different language, different understanding, different thinking, things were not working. Things were not working. From 1940, 1930s, 1950s, 1960s, when these countries in Europe were still in one big for nothing country, there were no progress. In fact, do you know that, let me tell you, when they tell you that in Nigeria, in a Benin or so, or is it in Ibadan or so, they have television before Switzerland. They have television, TV in Nigeria or in Yoruba land. Yoruba land, they have TV before Switzerland. Do you know why? Do you know why Yoruba were able to have television before some countries in Europe? Because that time the economy was divided along tribal line. You have, they call it region. They call it regional government. They call it region. It is not region. It was divided along tribal line. And
only one under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who and who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So these small state administrators, those that feel they do not want to follow the path of Obatopie, we also welcome them to quietly and peacefully leave the United States of Biafra. Biafra promotes freedom of association. You are free to go with whomever you want to be with. That is a basic right. We are not going to take it away from you. You are free to associate yourself with whom you want to. But what we are not going to allow is being able to disrupt what we are doing, being able to use the platforms established by Obotobi to promote your chaos and your divisive nature, allowing you to use the plans, the maps, the regions that Obotobi has set up to continue to disorganize, disinform our people. We are not going to allow you to do that. But as long as you following whoever calls you on the phone privately, it is okay to go with those individuals. And Biafrans, we truly support you to do that. That is called freedom of association, which United States of Biafra guarantees. There are charters that we signed during our declaration in Finland. And one of that is the basic human right of individuals to associate with whomever they want to. But you cannot do that under the United States of Biafra. There is only one United States of Biafra. Under one command, His Excellency the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, represented by my humble self, Dr. Orabueze. Anything outside this, we wish you luck, but please leave any platform that either myself or Obotobi has established. You can inquire from whoever you want to be with. They have their own platform. They have where they are doing their own little shenanigans. You can join them there. We wish you luck, but do not be in the platform established by the United States of Biafra and be causing your havoc. On that note, I thank all the state executives that are working day and night to ensure that we all go home by the end of this year. We thank all the Biafra Defense Forces, again, the decentralized forces and some of the units that have been there. We thank you for the coordination. We thank you for what you are doing to gradually move the state of a nation with all the discipline, with all the respect, with all the dignity associated with the United States of Biafra military. That is what this new nation is working on. On that note, I thank all Biafrans that are present here, all the state representatives, all the country representatives. And I want to quickly recognize all the Biafran secretaries and the Biafra cabinets. I'm going to start with the cabinets that I'm...
On this day, we gather round to honor the heroes, lest they be forgot by Biafra's soldiers.
To all Biafrans worldwide, from the Idoma to the Igede, the Igala to the Ogoni, the Ijo to Wanang, Orong to the Ekit, the Ikwere to the Igbo, and all Biafrans, mark your calendar. A historic moment is upon us. On Friday, May 30th, 2025, the United States of Biafra government proudly invites you, all citizens and allies of Biafra, to a 3-in-1 event to mark the Memorial Day of our heroes and heroines at the first ever Biafra Peace Summit and the inauguration of our DC administrative office, a beacon of hope, strength, and unity for all Biafrans.
Government, not the citizen, build up, we stand as one, united, in our one land, guided, government making us proud every day, blessed by the people.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program, wherever you are joining from. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this program, wherever you are connecting from. Thank you so much for being part of the program. Please like and share the program to all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. Very important. Share so that we can be able to reach to the people we are supposed to reach. It is another weekend, and I wish every one of you that is watching this program a very happy weekend. Whether you are watching me on Facebook, or you're watching from TikTok, or you're watching me from YouTube on David Harbour channel where I'm hosting the program. I wish you a very happy weekend. Remember, in this platform where you're watching this program is a platform that stands under the United States of Biafra. The United States of Biafra under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the leadership of the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. NgoziOrabueze, the COS. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to preach hate. We do not come here to attack people or individuals. All we do in this platform is to promote peace, to speak about freedom, more especially the freedom of the Biafran people. We are here to expose the atrocities of Nigerian government against the Biafrans, the propaganda against the Biafrans, against our Supreme Master Nnamdi Kanu, against our Prime Minister Master Simon Ekpa. Every lies they are telling in this platform, we debunk them and trash those lies, throw them to the dustbin where they belong. Today we have come once again, as we always do. Remember, it is always an interactive section. A section where Biafrans interact with each other. You can join us live on stage as long as you're with us here on David Harbour channel on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, you are entitled to come in and join us, air your opinion, make your contributions where necessary. Everyone is entitled to join us. There is no limitation. There is no qualification for you to join us. Wherever you are, whatever tribe you are, whatever religion, whatever location, as long as you're human, that is the only qualification you need to join us and air your opinion. And when you are joining us, for those who are Biafrans, if you join us as a Biafran, feel free to speak in your own dialects. In Biafran land, we have different dialects. We have different tribes and different languages. Whatever be your dialect, feel free to use it when you join us on stage. There is no law that says you must use English. We are only using English so we can be able to accommodate everybody. But if you are comfortable using your own Biafran language, please do so. There is no hindrance to that. You can use your Biafran language to speak because the audience you are speaking to are listening and they are Biafrans and I believe they are going to hear you. One thing we ask that when you are coming, you must appear decent on our program and again, speak in a civil manner. Be civil. Try to be as civil as you can to air your opinion so that the Biafrans can digest what you have to say and also look into it. I welcome everyone that have joined. Thank you for being part of the program, and we are going to kick it off very soon because remember, Saturday is a very special day. Today is our fundraising, so I'm not going to take much of your time so that you can reserve your data for the fundraising. Fundraising is going to start by 7 p.m. Biafran time. So wherever you are in Biafran land, 7 p.m. you join us. Wherever you are on the planet Earth, whether you're in Europe, America, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, wherever you are, feel free to join us 7 p.m. so that you can make your contribution towards the protection of your own land. Today is the state fundraising. You support your own state. Whatever contribution you make today goes to your state. All you need to do is to make your payment online, then send the receipt and mention your state, and the money will be transferred to the command in your state. It is very important. Yesterday was question and answer section, and you see many people came and they asked questions and they got their answer. And if you did not come, it means you didn't have a question. It was a very interesting one yesterday, and we thank you, Biama, for how successful you were. Many questions were answered, and in yesterday's program, you saw some of the Liberation Army who were in that very program yesterday. The Liberation Army were present, and they represented themselves. For you to know that this is not a joke. We are not playing. we are doing what we have to do to make sure that things are done right and done the way it should be. So wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwuebuka Abiyama to like and share so that others can join us and push this information to the ends of the world. We have to do what we have to do to make sure that our freedom is signed and sealed. Today we are going to take on a topic which says Biafrans must take self-preservation as a full-time occupation. Biafrans must take free self-preservation as a full-time occupation. It's first law to nature. We have spoken about this self-preservation again and again and again and again. This is not the first time we are talking about self-preservation. We are going back to this topic again and again on different angles with different styles because it is very, very important. Just as the topic says, it is the first law of nature. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. Everything that owns life fights to preserve themselves. The only place where you see self-preservation lacking is in human beings sometimes, like we see in the Biafran people. Biafran people are not taking self-preservation serious. You are not taking self-preservation serious. That is why we have to beg and shout and call and do all manner of things for you to get your attention to begin to ask for your freedom. It is because you are not taking self-preservation serious. Self-preservation is a full-time occupation, and Biafrans must take it as a full-time occupation. It is not today you talk about freedom, the next day you are talking about the election, the next day you are talking about supporting a politician. That means you don't know what you are doing. You must stand tall and strong and focus on your freedom. This is one area where I can say Biafrans can borrow leaf from the Janjaweed. Every one of us has Biafra. If there is nothing you can learn from the Janjaweed, it is self-preservation. The Janjaweed does not play with self-preservation. The Janjaweed put themselves first. They can do anything humanly possible to put themselves somewhere. They can do anything. They can take anybody out. They give no apology. When it comes to self-preservation, I have never seen people who are serious about it like the Fulanis. The Fulanis does not joke with self-preservation. That is why today you see the kind of thing they are doing in various places. They don't give a damn what you think or how you feel. It is about them. And at this point in time, this is the kind of mentality the Biafrans are supposed to have. Put Biafra first. Put Biafra first in anything you are doing, in any discussion, in any transaction. If Biafra is not put first, walk away from it. Walk away from it. The only people that are serious about this self-preservation is the North. Look at every time there's something that happened to the Northerners. Even though they are the engineering of the problem, their people still come and speak up. Imagine the Fulanis have the boldness to come and make a case for themselves. After destroying lives and properties, they still come boldly to speak and say they are Fulanis. It is sad. But every one of us must be very careful about this situation because it is something that we must have to pay attention to. The situation at hand is something that every one of us must pay attention to. At this point in time, Self-preservation is something that you must not. It does not matter what is happening. It does not matter they offer you. It doesn't matter who is concerned. You must put yourself first. The Biafrans are not taking this very issue serious. That is why I continue to come back on this topic, self-preservation. Put yourself first. For many years, the Biafran people have been putting others first. For many, many years, even up to now as we speak, the Biafrans continue to put people first, more especially the Igbo Biafrans. It is true that everywhere you go, you see the Igbo Biafrans settled, busy developing the area, busy creating jobs, busy creating opportunities. They will do everything to keep their strangers, their visitors, make them much more comfortable than themselves. When you go in any part of the world where you find the Biafrans, they are exceptional. They make things happen. But when you come back to their home, Biafra land is deserted. Biafra land is falling apart. Biafra land is falling apart on daily basis. And people do not care. Some have made Biafra land a graveyard. That after all much touring, light, left and center, you fall back in your deathbed. I don't blame them 100% in some ways. But where the problem lies is that we have to come together to restore our nation so that we can build it and make it a home where we can live, our children will live and grow old in that very land. That is what we are fighting for. We need to preserve the land of Biafra because it is deserted. Today, you see what the Janjaweed are doing in Biafra land, trying to force all the young men out of Biafra land. This plan is sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria. In many villages in Biafra land today, you will not see young men and young women. They have all run away to the cities. In many villages, you can never see a young man because the Zoological Republic terrorists have been given the order to fish out all the young men in Biafra land, more especially the young men in villages. Once they come in and see a young man, you are gone. Already you know that the politician has helped them to tag us all terrorists. The politicians help them to proscribe you and I. So every young man in the Biafra land is proscribed. That is why today they are running and you can't find anybody at home. And while they are leaving, the Fulanis are coming in. Dangote is using his trailer to bring them closer and closer and closer. And if you think they are going to stop, they are not stopping anytime soon. They will not stop anytime soon. That is why we have to begin to preach self-preservation. We must preserve ourselves, our land, our heritage. How do we do it? How do you do it? You have to do it by supporting the agenda of your people. And one of the agenda in the front line today is the restoration, full restoration of the United States of Biafra and the recognition. Today, the government of Biafra is fighting on different fronts for recognition, seeking for Biafra to be recognized. Letters are written, moves have been made. And apart from that, restoration on the ground. On that aspect, the Liberation Army is working around the clock to see that we send out every illegal occupant of our land. That is the only way we can be able to preserve ourselves. If we do not take this serious, it is going to be worse. You can hear the story of what is happening in the north. And when we say what is happening in the north, you say, God forbid, God forbid. Your wishful thinking cannot forbid it. If you do not do anything and you just say, God forbid, sorry, they are going to take over our land. In the northern part of Nigeria today, while they were busy praying and shouting, God forbid, the Fulani Janjaweed came in, take over the land, drove out the villages, took lives, and occupied the villages and renamed it. They did that in Plateau State. The governor came and was lamenting. I just watched a program where he was lamenting how the Fulanis have taken over, drove away the entire village and take over the village. In most places, they rename it and they are living in the house of the people they murdered. And this is a country that has a government, and they do nothing. They do nothing. They go about taking innocent life. Meanwhile, we are busy with our businesses. We are busy gossiping online and attacking each other. While the Fulani is busy invading our land, taking innocent life. You must learn to put yourself first. The Biafran people, for a long time, we have worked and sacrificed for Nigeria. And I bet you the more we put in effort, the more destruction we get. Every leader today that is leading the Biafra movement have at one point in time worked for Nigeria. Every leader that is crying today for the United States of Biafra, they have all tried and worked for the unity of the zoo, only to realize that it was just a waste of time. Our eternal leader, Dim Odumegoju, was a hardcore one Nigerianist. He was a one Nigerianist until he saw their color. Until he saw their color. There are so many people who worked under Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu himself supported at a point in time one Nigeria to make it better. Oh. Our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa also sacrificed for the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, participated in sports and won many medals for them. But at the long run, he found out that the people he's working for do not want him alive. And he took the decision to begin to preserve his own people. It is very important today that every one of us go back to that self-preservation. It is very necessary. If there is nothing you will learn from the Fulani Janjaweed, learn self-preservation. The Fulanis are not ready to compromise their safety for anybody. These are wanderers that move from one place to the other. People can pretend that they don't know who they are, or you don't call them by their name. We don't just call them terrorists. They are Fulani terrorists who masquerade themselves and cover themselves with religion to perpetrate their evil. And it is sad that in the process, they win many people. They cover their atrocity with religion. And many people fall into the trap. The same thing Ottoman Danfodio did. When he came to the northern part of Nigeria, he covered himself with religion. And the people in the north thought it was about religion. And they embraced him. What did he do? He manipulated them against their own people. And these people are still there. These manipulators are still everywhere. The Fulani manipulation cannot stop. It will just get worse every day. That is why You must chase them away. You must prepare for this battle. It is a battle that you must fight. It does not matter whether you like it, whether you don't like it. It is a battle that we must fight. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it. It does not matter. It is a battle that we must fight. The Fulanis are not ready to compromise. They are not ready to play with their self. They will preserve themselves even at the expense of your own life. They don't care. When you are dealing with this kind of people, all you have to do is to do your own very best to preserve yourself and do what you have to do. You must preserve yourself. There is no two ways about it. The Fulani Janjaweed are not giving up. If there is nothing you will learn from them, learn to preserve yourself. They are not joking with it. You will see them, even those in the town, you see them boldly come to national TV to tell you that their nationality is Fulani. It doesn't matter where you push them, their nationality is Fulani. And they will do everything humanly possible to put themselves first before any other person. That is why we are calling for everyone to rise up. Let us preserve ourselves. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. If you do not know how to preserve yourself, I am sorry. I am sorry. What is going to come upon you? I doubt if you can be able to handle it. I doubt if you can be able to handle what is going to come upon you. If you fail to listen to self-preserve yourself. It does not matter what you hear. It does not matter what they tell you. Do not pay attention to the propaganda of the enemies. Self-preservation is something that is as necessary as breath to us today. It is as necessary as breath. We must not play with this. If you play with it, you are playing with your own life. If you play with it, you are playing with your own life. And it is not a joke. You must learn to preserve yourself. Put yourself first. Put yourself first. Until you start doing that, you are not ready to be free. Until you start preserving yourself the way you are supposed to, you are not yet ready to be free. You can make noise and shout from heaven to earth that you want to be free. You are not ready. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama give us the strength to do what we have to do to save ourselves. We have gone through a lot. The Biafran people have gone through hunger. We have lost loved ones. We have gone through pain and fear. These are things that have to move you, and you have to have that instinct that self-preservation is the need of the hour. The government of Biafra has done their best in terms of encouraging every one of us, in terms of the diplomatic movement, in terms of speaking up for the Biafran people. But there are roles that you as an individual have to play to preserve yourself. The government cannot do everything for you. The government of the United States of Biafra cannot do everything for you. We must prepare for this war. Inevitable war that is coming. There is an inevitable war coming. People are getting prepared on their own. Individuals are getting prepared. Even the people you see as elites, they are getting prepared. Don't think they are not getting prepared. Even people deceiving you about one Nigeria, everybody is getting prepared. If you don't know that, know it now. One of the best things that the government of the United States of Biafra did was to enact a law for people to bear arms and defend themselves. You see, some of us underrate the spirit that controls this movement. When the Deputy Prime Minister made an announcement, all hell break loose. Some people that don't have common sense, we are attacking that move. Some people that cannot put one or two together, we are attacking that move. When the government of Biafra came out and announced through the Deputy Prime Minister that Biafrans must learn to defend themselves, you will have the right to defend yourself by any means possible. Encourage the Biafrans to bear arms. You have the right to bear arms and defend yourself. Just after she said that, we began to see videos coming from the same zoo. We saw their security operatives telling people to bear arms, asking their own people to bear arms. Then you see the double standard. They know that what we are doing is the right thing, defending ourselves against the invaders, defending ourselves against the terrorists. They know we are doing the right thing, but yet they will tag us terrorists. They will give us names in order to discourage us or demoralize us. But I bet you, it does not matter what they say. It does not matter what they do. No matter the angle they come from, we are not backing down. Every Biafran must be ready. I mean, you must be ready to preserve your life. The first line of defense in our life today is you. Put yourself first. Remember, self-preservation is the first law of nature. The very first law of nature, self-preservation. If you are not ready to embark on that journey of self-preservation, I bet, in a situation that we found the zoo today, survival of the fittest, you cannot survive. I want you to understand that caring for yourself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation. And that is an act of political warfare. Self-preservation is also an act of political warfare. That is why you see the Janjaweed, they don't care how you feel. You see how they are seriously changing the demography in the zoo. Seriously occupying people's land, taking over land. Seriously pumping their population into the masses to make sure they occupy the place by force. By force. They force themselves into the area. They occupy land by force without informing anybody. They take over land and make it their own. And before you know it, they begin to tell you the story of their ancestors. A governor will come and tell you that they are all Fulanis. And that is their nationality. So they have the right to exist anywhere in Nigeria or anywhere in Africa. I urge every one of us as Biafran, wake up from your sleep. Stop sleeping. The bell is ringing. It is Biafra first. If you want to survive in this situation, if you want to save your life, self-preservation should come first. In that self-preservation, You must use every means possible to preserve yourself. We have been able to preserve the zoo for a long time. It doesn't work. We preserve other tribes and other religions. It doesn't work. It is time to focus on ourselves. Defend your land. Defend whom you are. Defend your Biafranness by all means necessary. I say it is time to learn self-preservation from the Janjaweed. They are the very good example of self-preservation. They don't care. They don't care how you feel or what you're saying. They don't care how you feel or what you're saying or what you're about to say. And if we can be able to face them squarely, we must begin to approach matter the same way they approach. We must begin to take the same approach that the Janjaweed is taking. That's the same approach we're taking. Face them head on wherever we find them. I just bumped into the latest message of General T.Y. Danjuma. General T.Y. Danjuma is one of the people that created the chaos you are seeing today. He fought against Biafra. He was one of those who tried to wipe away Biafrans. But today, his own place is under siege. He has made a new video after he made the one he made before and said that the military are colluding. And people thought it was a mistake and they think they can cow him. Today, the general has made another one, an open call for people to take up arms. He made it clear. And in this one, he said the best form of defense is what? Attack. He made it more clearer. General Danjuma this time made it more clearer that the best form of defense is attack. You see, when they say it, they are saying it in the open, in the conventional media, in Nigeria. But those of us who are Biafran, when we say this same thing in our platforms, people will begin to see us as if we are being inhuman, as if we are instigating violence, as if we are creating. It is not instigation. All we are preaching is self-preservation. Our people must learn to preserve themselves. We have been able to preserve every other people, every other religion, every other tribe, anything that come our way. But the time has come for us to focus on ourselves. Put yourself first. You will save yourself before you begin to think of whom to save. After all, we made the very first move to save humanity in Nigeria and they turned it to a civil war and we lost millions of people. Dim Odumegwu made a move also to create a Nigeria that will suit everybody. They refused and they came against us. What else do you want us supposed to do? Nzogu went for a revolution to make Nigeria better and they called it an Igbo coup. Aguironsi came on board to unify Nigeria and they killed him. Why will you continue to play this gamble? Why? Why will you continue? Our supreme leader, Nnamdi Kanu, called them and gave them the option also to go and fight for restructuring. They came after him to kill him. In the process, they lost his father, his mother, Jack, his dog, died. About 28 other men were there. Many Biafrans lost their lives during the so-called Python dance. Every time you try to preserve this thing that was not created by God, that is not supposed to exist, they come after you. Why don't we now focus on self-preservation? Biafra first. Any business that doesn't have to do with Biafra, run and run and run and let your leg be touching your head. Pursue self-preservation with everything, with every fiber in your bone. Fight for self-preservation as if your life depends on it. That is where we're supposed to. I'm going to play the video of Danjuma. You know, when we are talking about this issue, you don't understand it. The Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. NgoziOrabueze, made an announcement and some of you got angry. Today, you understand it. After you have seen the DSS man came and asked people to defend themselves, I have seen several videos, I played several videos where the Minister of Defense will also advising people to defend themselves. General Danjuma have said it before, and he just came recently to make it more clearer for people who think he made mistake to understand. And we are going to listen to General Danjuma once again for you to know that the time is now.
Some few years ago, I warned that the armed forces are either not capable or unwilling to protect us, and that we must defend ourselves. The first denial of what I said came from the Ministry of Defense. They said I was lying. And they set up a kangaroo board of inquiry to investigate the truth or otherwise of what I spoke. And they invited me to come and testify. I did not go. I did not go.
Did you hear him? After he made that very revelation that people should rise up and defend themselves, that the military and the federal government is colluding with the terrorists to take over land, they called him, they summoned him to come and testify to what he said. And he said, I did not go. General Danjuma is telling you that he refused to honor that call by the military, by the federal government of Nigeria. Can you imagine if it was a Biafran that made such statement and now refused to honor their call? You know what will be happening today? If it were a Biafran that made that statement and refused to answer the call of the government, you know what will be the next result. But I want you to keep listening.
They wrote that report which said that I was only speculating, that there was no evidence. And now there is evidence. The whole country now is being run and overrun.
You see, he said when he made that statement, they said he was just over-exaggerating, that there was no evidence. That was what they said then, that there was no evidence to what he said. And he is saying today, there is evidence that everybody can see. Even a child can see it. A blind person can hear it. It is no longer something that you say, come and show us evidence. He is confessing here that the whole country has been taken over. The whole country has been overrun. This is his latest statement. The person that is speaking is former Chief of Army Staff, General Danjuma, who is part of the criminality in Nigeria, who were part of those who want to wipe Biafrans away. This man you are seeing. But today, the evil that men do is living with them. So he is speaking from experience. He has information more than any other person can ever have in that contraption. If there are people that has information, it is people like this. General Danjuma, a former Chief of Army Staff. One of those who they compensated for the killing of Biafrans. What he's enjoying today is because of his participation in the murder of the Biafran people. But I bet you, the situation is in his doorstep. That is why he's shouting and talking. And look at his confession. Listen to him.
And now there is evidence.
There is evidence.
The whole country now is being run and overrun.
The whole country is overrun.
And one very clear thing that is happening is that these foreign invaders, they are not even Muslims. A lot of the casualties inflicted on the land are on Muslims. They are destroying even mosques, but they were allowed to come into the country by our government.
Did you hear it? That these criminals, these terrorists, they are destroying lives and property of both Christians and Muslims. And he is saying it openly that the people that are sponsoring these terrorists is the government of Nigeria. You see, when we say Nigerian government is a terrorist government, some of you would think it's a propaganda. This is a general, former general, chief of army staff, former chief of army staff, General T.Y. Danjuma. He is the one speaking, telling you that Nigerian government is a terrorist government. When I say it here, people will think I am over-exaggerating. People will say I am talking down on their useless country. When I say it, people will think maybe I'm making it up. The person that is speaking now is a former general, chief of army staff in Nigeria, telling you that Nigerian government is a terrorist government. They are sponsoring terrorists to take over the indigenous land of their own people. Now you understand it better. This is the importance of playing these videos, because when we say certain things, people who are listening, both the one Nigerianists and people listening from abroad, they will think that we come online to make up stories. But when we play these videos, you hear from the mouth of people, insiders, people who were part of this evil. You will now begin to understand that when we say the only remedy to Nigeria is Biafra, it is not a joke. The only remedy to Nigeria is disintegration. Let Biafra go. Let Dududua go. The Arewas go. Everybody on their own. Break it into pieces and let people go and protect their region. It is not a selfish request. It is not a request made out of hatred. It is not a request made out of pride. It is a necessity to save life. That is what it is. It's left for you to understand it the way you want to understand it. But that will not stop us from telling you the truth and nothing but the truth. Continue to listen to General Danjuma.
On Muslims, they are destroying even mosques, but they were allowed to come into the country by our government.
The government brought them in.
Now, as a soldier,
listen.
My training teaches me that the best defense is attack.
He said, as a soldier, that his training teaches him. The training that he got makes him to understand that the best form of defense is what? Attack. That the best form of defense is attack. This is the direct message coming from General Danjuma. When we say it here, they will say we are instigating. I want you to hear it. This is self-preservation, self-defense to the highest level. This is the time to implement it. Don't look at anybody. Don't wait for anybody. You must play this game the same way they are bringing it to you. Hear Danjuma.
Right now, we are all sitting ducks. These people are armed to the teeth.
They are armed
with all the weapons of mass destruction.
With weapons of mass destruction.
And we don't have them. But we have the numbers.
We don't
and
have
the land belongs to us.
We have the numbers.
They are trying to recolonize us and take over our land.
They want to take over the land.
Can I allow you to defend yourselves?
He's asking, can I ask you to defend yourself? Should I allow you to defend yourself? Hear him.
Your Majesty, you heard what they said. You must then unite our people. A lot of the attacks that I got was from our people. They said I told them to defend themselves. I didn't give them arms. I will not give you arms. Find out how these people who have it got it.
He said, when he said, defend yourself, the people said, you did not give us arms. How can we defend ourselves? The same question they asked our deputy prime minister when she told Biafrans, you have the right to bear arms and defend yourself. You have the right to bear arms. When that law was passed, Biafrans were asking this same question that they are asking Danjuma today. Danjuma said when he announced, defend yourself, some of them are asking, you did not give us arms. How are we going to defend ourselves? And Danjuma said, these people that are doing this thing, coming against you, how did they get their own arms? How did they acquire their arms? Make your inquiries. I will not provide arms for you. The same means and system through which they got their own arms, you can equally get your own and defend yourself. And you as a Biafran, borrow sense from what this man is saying. Some of you, he is waiting for Biafran government to go and buy arm and give you. The government of Biafra cannot buy arm and give you today. We have the Liberation Army to equip. The responsibility of the Biafran government today is the Liberation Army to equip them to the highest level to make sure they attain the standard they have to. But on your own, those people who are coming after you, the bandits, the terrorists are coming, ask question, how do they get their own arms? Through that same means they get their own arms, you can equally get your own and defend yourself. This is a statement of General Danjuma to a whole crowd of his own people. He's telling them, go out there, investigate, check the means through which those get their arms, get your own and defend yourself. Can you as a Biafran borrow sense from what this man is saying? Borrow sense from what this man is saying. This question they were asking is what they ask our deputy prime minister. Some of you Biafrans are still asking this question up to today. When we talk about self-defense, some of them will come on comment and tell you, you're telling people to defend themselves. You didn't give them arms. You're telling people to bear arms. You didn't give them arms. Biafran government cannot begin to circulate arms and give to you. No, we won't do that. The government of Biafra will not do that. We have a responsible army to equip them to the teeth. But you as an individual, it is your responsibility. The same way these criminals, these terrorists are getting their own arms, investigate. You know means to get it and defend yourself. A very clear answer to the question that some of you come on the comment section to type. This is a general advising his own people on what to do. I want you to hear it again from him. Let it not be that I'm making it up. Hear it from him.
What they've said. You must then unite our people. A lot of the attacks that I got was from our people. They said I told them to defend themselves. I didn't give them arms. I will not give you arms. Find out how these people who have it got it. use the same means, use the same means to defend you, to defend yourself.
Find how those terrorists get theirs, how they get, find how they get it. Get your own and defend yourself.
This beautiful land called Nigeria, the biggest country for black men in the whole world, is being brought to ruins by absolutely useless criminals. But how did they get here? How did they get here? Most of them are foreigners. Of course, we know there are collaborators among them. Some of them may be even here. So my prayer is that God Almighty that has given us this land will give us the courage to face up to our enemy and locate where he is and root him out, drive him out of the country. This we must do. Otherwise, Nigeria is finished. Thank you.
You have heard General Danjuma. The message is clear. The message is a message of self-defense, self-preservation. Today, they are fighting to preserve themselves. It's an express instruction. Go by all means necessary, get something to defend yourself. Don't wait for anybody to provide arms for you. Get it by yourself, defend yourself. The same way they are doing to you, do to them. There is nothing called the Zoological Republic. The terror you are seeing today is imported by the government itself. You heard it from Danjuma. The government brought them in. The government brought them in, and today they are helpless. They can't even do anything. Instead, they are protecting them. That is why when they attack, we want to go reprisal, they come and take off your arms. When they see that you can be able to stab the terrorists, they come and remove all the arms in your hand and then allow them to come in. That is why we say Nigerian government is a terrorist government. And we don't just say it. It is from information coming from men like this who are part of the system. When you see them speak, you can be able to get information from what they have just said. The situation is not coming down. And as you see this man, the same thing is happening in Oduduwa land. In Oduduwa land, I saw a video where a pastor was also Allah. A pastor said, drop Bible, forget about God said and God did not say. Calling people to preserve themselves, protect themselves. This is the time for self-preservation. It is no longer time for talking and making noise. A pastor was telling the people, his congregation, to get ready. In fact, he was very straight and said, fortify yourself. That was the language he used, that pastor. I'm going to play the video. A pastor in Oduduwa land calling his people attention. You know, there are people everywhere that are waking that are calling, but there are still some who are still evil. Their eyes is covered because of what they will eat and what they will drink. The situation of the zoo is not hidden. The evil that is about to engulf that country is not hidden. Everybody knows about it. But there are people who are pretending, directly and indirectly, supporting the evil and allow it to fly. And I bet you, they are going to pay dearly. But you, on your own, you must rise up and protect yourself. If you don't, you are going to be part of it. You must protect yourself. That is why the message of self-preservation is very important. Gone are the days when you are working for Bala. You have to work for yourself this time. Preserve yourself. Don't wait for any Messiah anywhere to come. The first line of defense is you. At least you have to start that fight before the Liberation Army of Biafra arrives. And you know, the Liberation Army of Biafra have limitation to where they will go and things they will cover. In as much as the government is trying everything to decentralize the Liberation Army, to expand them. Yesterday, you saw many of the commanders came into the program yesterday and they spoke. You heard from many of the commanders and you heard their voice and they spoke. In as much as government is doing making all those moves, you are the first line of defense for yourself. At least you have to put up a fight to save your life before the Liberation Army arrives. Very, very important. And I want to play the video that was made by a pastor in Oduduwa land for you to know that this is not just about the Igbo Biafrans, not just about the Biafrans, even in the southwest. It is much, much worse there. The case of North, the northern part of Nigeria have cried and they lost tears. They have cried and cried and cried. They don't have tears anymore. They do not have tears anymore. They are helpless. They are helpless. The Plateau Jos people have cried and cried and cried. You know, the worst thing that will happen to you if you begin to politicize the atrocities of the Janjaweed. You know, in Nigeria, our difference with them is that they are being politically correct. Just like Danjuma is talking. They try to avoid using the real terms, Fulani Janjaweed. Even in their media, they avoid using Fulanis. The people that are perpetrating this evil in the name of religion, in the name of this and that, is the Fulanis. Don't ever forget that. And until you rise up to the occasion, identify the problem first, then you will know how to solve it. We, the Biafran, have identified the Janjaweed are the cause of the problem. The British handed them over to Nigeria, and Nigeria became the greatest enemy to every indigenous person in Nigeria. Nigeria itself is the greatest enemy to the citizens until you tear apart that name, throw it to the dustbin where it belongs. Every individual will be living at risk. Until you tear Nigeria apart and throw it to the dustbin, the citizens, the ordinary people, will continue to be an endangered species. This is a kind request to save life. Decentralization to save life. Disintegration to save life. To save humanity. You are waiting until what happened in other places, genocide happens. Every day you talk about Rwanda story. You are quickly to talk about Rwanda genocide and give advice, but every single thing that led to that genocide in Rwanda is playing out in Nigeria. Has played out already. If not by the grace of Chukwu Okike, something terrible would have happened. And it is bound to happen. It's only waiting for a time. Only waiting for time. Only waiting for time to explode. Before I go there, I want us to listen to this pastor in Oduduwa land. Hear him.
The Yoruba indigene. I want to talk to you all. And I want you to listen and accept what I'm about to say. I said they are already usurping you from your villages all over Yoruba State. In Ogun State, Osun State, Ondo State, Anambra State, even Anambra State, even the Igbo lands as well. People are already entering those places. And they're already overtaking you people in your various states. What we are saying right now, this is not about religion.
Christian,
whether you're a Christian
Muslim,
or you're a Muslim, and we are Yoruba traditional worshippers, this is time we must band together to fight for our father's land so that they don't overtake us in it. Don't let them use religion to take over our land. All those villages they have taken over in Ondo State. When they wanted to kill, they killed Christian and Muslim alike. They are fighting for the land. They are not fighting for religion. They are just coming through the lens of religion. But I'm telling you, all Yoruba people, please be prepared. Nigerians at large, please be well prepared so that they don't take you away from your father's land. And calling onto the royalities in Yoruba land. Your Oni of Ife, the Imperial Majesty. Kabiesi, we greet you, sir. Please talk about this. The new Alaafin, please talk about this. All the kings in Ondo State. The kings in Lagos, Oyo, Oshun, please talk about this. Because when the war overwhelms us, we will not be able to do anything about it. Personally, I'm ready for war. I told you the last time that you should fortify yourself. So people will say, why will a pastor utter that kind of statement? Please go and fortify yourself. Because when war comes, I will drop my Bible. I will go and fight for my father's land. When the Christianity come into Nigeria,
1842.
It came in 1842. That was when it came in. And the first person to compile the Bible, his name is Williams.
On the 6th.
They killed him on the 6th.
1536.
1536. They burnt him. He was lynched. The person that compiled the Bible for us. So don't let us put religion into our culture or for fight for our father's land. I will fortify myself and I'll be a leader. And if you can fortify people, fortify them. We will fight that war. I will drop my Bible because of my father's land. Because the Bible says it. Hebrews 6 verse 1. It says, set aside the teachings of Christ and let us do what is complete. We will now put it aside. Let's fight for our father's land. And we tell Jesus to help us. To help us in the war for our father's land. That's what we are going to do. When Jesus was caught, a disciple drew out his sword. His name is Peter. He cut off the ear of one of the soldiers. He cut off the ear of one of the soldiers. Jesus said, no. Keep your sword back in the shirt. That when the time comes, if you have a cloth, go and sell it. When the time comes, if you have sandal, you will sell it. Go to Luke 22. So, please don't leave the things of your father and the land of your father. Christianity does not stop me from fighting for my father's rights. So if you are Yoruba indigene, don't just fold your hands. Don't let them take over our father's land from us. God will help us. Our ancestors would help us.
Did you hear that? That was a pastor telling you that he is ready. That when the time comes, he is going to fortify himself. And they are saying, why would a pastor talk about fortify himself? Make it a joke. Continue playing. Continue to play. Continue to play. The man is telling you that when the time comes, that he is going to defend his own land with every blood in his vein. And he's calling on all their traditional rulers to wake up. Calling on all the people he had to do this call. Everyone as a Biafran, it is time for us to think about self-preservation. If you haven't learned this lesson, I don't know when you're going to learn. Maybe in your grave. Now that you still have life, you better wake up and do something. Or else, you will not live to tell the story. Yeah, welcome my beloved brother Greg. Thank you for joining. Go ahead and speak to us, Greg. Are you there, my brother Greg?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, my brother. Good afternoon, Choose and Biafrans. We thank God today the sun is shining. I don't know how your weather there is, but by me it's shining. I believe it's shining everywhere. Thank God for the weather. Thank God for the Biafrans, and we thank God for yesterday's program, the question and answer, and the more enlightened that we had. We thank God for our leaders, for their life, that God has still strengthened them even as they are in dungeons. We thank God for Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpan. And we thank God for our present leader now, DPMDrNgoziOrabueze, and his cabinet and her cabinet, and the media that is doing great works. May the name of God be praised in your life, and we thank him so well. I am following the program. You know, one thing is, you know, in every honesty, God, as keke sebu ya ekote ya niile na anu na-enweghị ọdụ na chi ya na-egburu ya ijiji. If you are watching, and I have to put in this way, believing that the USB is gathering all these things are more and more and more evidence. Because all these things is proving that Simon Ekpan and Nnamdi Kanu have no case in anywhere to answer. Let me first start from there. If the man, the head of DSS, who is holding Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria, because he called his people to defend themselves against the terrorists from the Sahel, if the head of that DSS will come out today and say, let people protect themselves, defend themselves. So when you say, let people defend themselves, what are you trying to tell them? When somebody is coming with knife, if you have knife, you use that knife and defend yourself. When somebody is coming with AK-47, if you have AK-47, you use it and defend yourself. There is nothing that will hold you against you as a law. Because somebody cannot come and barge into your house. You hear boom, 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 boom. And you peep, and you saw him carrying axe. You go inside your house, you look if there is any axe. You pick up axe. And you open the door, he will see you that you have axe. If you see that you have axe on your own hand, he will hold a little bit back before he will know if he can attack or if he can run. But when he knock in your door, you start going inside the bed, inside your under your bed, under your table. He will be happy because he have nobody that is going to challenge him. Because he know he have axe, and you have no axe in your hand, neither machete to challenge him. But when he come to your house, you pick up your machete or you pick up your axe. And you open the door, he see you with your hand, your axe is, you're holding your axe or your machete high. He will not attack immediately. He will look back. He must hold break before he attacks. But when he find out that when you force the door open and he run under your bed, under the table, he will come there and he will be happy because he know that there is no resistance at all. He will come there and hammer you and butcher you and go out. But when he know that you have axe, he will know that if he make a mistake, you will be the first one to hit him. So he will not. He will hold break. That is what we are talking about. Safety, and the same thing apply when he come with AK-47 or gun or whatever. When you see that you carry your own gun, he will take another balance and know how to shoot. But if he come and you find out you have nothing, he will know that there's nothing there. So he will just come. He will say, this idiot, I don't need to waste my bullet. He will use what do you call it? When he say we appear, He will not waste his bullet. That is why the DSS man will come out and tell you, self-defense, Nigerians, defend yourself. The self-defense is what Simon Ekpa is still preaching. And now they write evil petition against him, and his brothers are the ones who wrote those petitions. It's not the Fulani. The people that wrote those petitions and the people in the cabinet with Simon Ekpa and the DOS, combined with the Eastern politicians and the wife of Ikemba and the Nnamdi Kanu wife. There is no other person. And with the former lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, these are the people that gang up against him and start lying against Simon Ekpa, who was preaching self-defense. So the self-defense now that DSS head is preaching, and now the retired man, Danjuma, who was, I heard that Danjuma was the this man of Agui Ironsi during that time. JDC to Ironsi. And he was there, and he said
he later became the chief of army staff. He was
yes.
Later he became.
But when during the time of Agui Ironsi, when he was DS, that was when they killed Agui Ironsi now.
Yeah, he was the one that killed Agui Ironsi. Who else?
Yeah. So this is the man who fought against what the Biafrans, the Igbos, the Agui saw more than 65 years or 70 years ago. That was happening to the, not that time, it was not only the Igbos, it was happening to every part of Nigeria. And him, the Fulanis being too clever, they are still being today. They will use your own and fight you. So the Fulanis were too clever. What did they do? They say, if we go this fight on our own, we will not win. We are going to use all these, the middle belt are Christians, which Danjuma is one of them. I see. And the Ironsi was picked him as a brother, thinking that he was a brother as at that time. Just like the same thing with Gowon. So they use Gowon. These are the people, the middle belt, the plateaus. Those people are the people they use in destroying the Igbos. And now, when they get what they want from this, what do you call them, the middle belt, and the other plateau and the Jos and all those people, they now say, yes, you have nobody to defend you. You have nobody to side you. We have gotten what we want. Because the first thing they will do, the enemy will do, is destroy your relationship between you and your brother. Once he destroys that relationship, just like Wike is happening to Wike today, and the Amechi today, and the Obi today, when they make sure that your brother have no more trust in you, they will strike you because you have no defense. Because that your brother is your defense. So that is the way the Fulanis react. And that is what they're doing today to use Tinubu. They're using Tinubu as a southerner to use them to destroy his family, the Yorubas, and the southeast and the west. That's what they're doing. They are too clever. Now, what do you call him? Erifai is trying to law P2B because he knows that P2B is very, very eager to get power. He's very, very eager to get power. So he's trying to law him. We will support you. We don't want to support Tinubu again. We will support you. They want to law him again to use him to destroy his people. The Fulanis are snake. They are too powerful and clever. And that is why every time I will still refer you to the Bible, say this, your enemy is like a snake. He is too clever. The snake is too clever. He knows where to bite you with his evil poison. And you cannot resist him. That's that evil. So, what did they do? They use this Danjuma and the so-called these people, and make sure that they brought the Biafrans down and destroyed everything, destroyed their life, killed them. They use Awolowo as well to make sure they destroy the Igbos. They use Obasanjo them to make sure they destroy the Igbos. Now, when they get everything they want, they say, okay, We will make sure we finish the plateaus. We have to conquer them. So they start coming gradually like kerosene, and they make sure that everything that have to do with the plateau, just all of them are crop, and they just destroy them totally. They just make sure they destroy them. Now they are coming to the east. So before the plateau and the so what you call them, the middle belt, know it's already late. They are burying them in thousands every day. So now Danjuma is coming out to tell them that you have to defend yourself. But I want you to go more further. So defend yourself in this time around from so-called Danjuma is not enough. Because a man that is over 80 years, around 80 years, what is he afraid of to tell his people, go for your own freedom? Let Nigeria separate. If they kill him today, they did not kill him, and he have lived enough. Danjuma have enough life. So the earlier you tell your people the truth, so tell them the full truth, let them come out and request for their own nation. It is better for them that to defend yourself and stay in Nigeria makes no sense. The Fulani will still crush you, whether you like it or not, because they're already on your neck. You are still thinking defend yourself today is because the Igbos are still there fighting them. If they have grabbed the Igbos today, the rest of the other nations are just like butter for them. So when you think that you are still talking about to resist yourself, it is because the Igbos are still in the picture. The Biafrans are still in the picture. So the Biafrans are the only this thing that have been too hard for them to crack. So what I want Danjuma to do is to tell his people, go for your own nation. Let Danjuma stand up and say, divide Nigeria and let the Middle Belt have their own nation. Let other people have their own nation. And once the Middle Belt have their own nation, all this Fulani problem will disappear. Because it will no more. They are succeeding because of what? Because we are still under one Nigeria. Once Nigeria break today, you will see every power of Fulani will go down. Because when you have a Middle Belt, nobody will enter your territory anyhow. Because they are entering your territory in the name of one Nigeria. People should understand it. They should understand this problem. They are entering because of one Nigeria. If there is a country called Middle Belt or a Benue State or just whatever today, if any Bama want to call there, you give him condition either with visa or how it will come. If any Fulani want to come without visa, he cannot come. So it's no more one Nigeria. It has to be under international diplomatic or diplomatic law. So which they must abide whether they like it or not. It's not this one that this governor is saying that we have the Fulanis from Cameroon, we have the Fulanis from this and from that. So every country they go, they have right to be there because they are hiding under one Nigeria and they will be destroying every part of West Africa. Break Nigeria today, every power of Fulani will collapse. They must understand it. So, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is let the USB government be gathering all these evidences. Because those people who are saying that Simon Ekpa is inciting violence or inciting this thing, let all these testimonies from these DSS people be a very super evidence of what Simon Ekpa is fighting. If Nigeria is not killing his city, if the terrorists is not killing the people, why are all these DSS telling people to defend themselves? Why is Danjuma coming out to tell people to defend themselves? So that is what the international community must tell the Biafrans. Why are they holding Nnamdi Kanu and why are they holding Simon Ekpa? When all these people are crying, defend yourself. As I'm looking here now, I see one. There is one of our Nigerian musicians that want to release a song he want to release about. He said, "See, go and tell your papa." He said they are pricing him 200 million naira money to stop him for making that this thing. He said the guy said no. Say may they go last. Say that video they must release it. You see, because he's telling this guy you are flying private jet. Your father is a president. You are flying private jet. Anywhere, any part of the country you want to go, fly private jet with the powerful security. So let him go without security from that place to any other part of state of the in Yoruba land there. Let me know if he will come out. They will pick him. The kidnappers will pick him. So, but if he want to go, he carry 100 security and go only just to secure his life. So why not be giving every Nigerians 100 security with armored cars and everything anywhere where they want to go? Is their life more important than any other person? So that is why every person that is fighting against what we are doing, that person is evil. That is what people must understand. Any person fighting against what we are doing, that person is evil. So until he or she understands that there is no other option than to make sure that Nigeria is disintegrated and everybody will go his home and build his house and manage his family, and if there is any problem, he know how to tackle it. But as long as you remain in one Nigeria, they will use under the umbrella of one Nigeria and they will cripple every Nigeria. No matter what they do, they can never survive it. The Fulanis will not allow it. Because during the Tinubu campaign, I heard a lot of Fulani saying, instead of a holy Christian, instead of a holy Christian that will make Nigeria good, rule Nigeria, it is better that a criminal Muslim take Nigeria. They don't care. What they're after is to make sure that the Islam take over Nigeria. And the person come out on television, he said it boldly. You see? So these are the kind of mindset, these are the kind of people you want to remain in the same country with. So you are fighting to make your life better. They are fighting to make sure that the Islam take over Nigeria. So they will not fight for anything betterment until Islam is taken over Nigeria. That is their own project. That is their project now. Their project is to make sure that the Usman Fodom succeed. That's why they will come and tell you, these people don't know, you're not fighting for Islam. They're not fighting, those people don't know, they have no respect for Islam. It's not true. They have no respect for Islam, but they have respect for the founder of Islam in West Africa, which is Osman bin Fodio. So the Fulanis that are too clever, they know how they operate. So any person that is still thinking, that doesn't have critical mind, how these people operate, you fall into a pit. So that is the question. So any person fighting against what we are doing, that person is enemy of anything that is called freedom and enemy of life. You hear just as you said, when the commanders, their programs, their answers and their testimonies of yesterday. So that shows that the people are working hard to make sure that we are free. And any person working against or telling you anything opposite or telling you that NgoziOrabueze is that, NgoziOrabueze is that person is our enemy. Because the enemy come in many ways and they did not succeed. They did not succeed with with the raising memo. When memo fell, they come with not paying for the whole of to declare Biafra. When they were forced to pay the whole to declare Biafra, they come that they don't declare Biafra that day. When Biafra was declared that day, they come with the NgoziOrabueze is against the men on the Biafra army. When they not succeed on that one, they go back to the charter. When they did not succeed in charter, they go back to which other one again? Many just they started dishing out lies and lies and lies and lies and lies and lies till this day. Till today, it has been only lie and lie and lie and lie. So they have not stopped lying, and that's why I'm happy that those commanders came yesterday to show that they are understanding the lie. Now they're telling you what is Dr. NgoziOrabueze doing. You see, They are telling you fell back. I'm happy for that testimony that commander gave yesterday. Say, what is fell back? That they know whom they are following. The most important thing is for you to know whom you are following. That's why what he wants and what he has been preaching and what he worked for is United States of Biafra. So whether you go, if he fell back to Briggy, what is falling back to Briggy? He's falling back to Briggy the freedom we are asking for. What we want is what? Is Biafra. And we don't want to, it's not falling back to cabinet where there will be finance and where there will be information minister. That is only the interpretation of falling back to the Briggy. Falling back to Briggy doesn't mean that when you go to back to Briggy, then the nations recognize Biafra, or the terrorists in Biafra land will be driven under 2 days. No. But fall back is for them to still have their position as a cabinet. Cabinet is not Biafra. What is Biafra is the freedom of the land that we are fighting for, where every person, every Biafran will be free. So whatever you call it is not important. What is important is that what Simon Ekpa fought for the past 1 year to achieve was achieved. That is to declare Biafra. So if you can declare Biafra and somebody is telling you, no, don't dissolve the cabinet. If you dissolve the cabinet, it is no more fighting for Biafra. What is fighting for Biafra is only when you will remain as a finance minister, as information minister, as in the Briggy. That is absolutely using your brain, telling you that you don't have brain. So it is only fool that will buy that very idea. That when you go back to Briggy, where finance minister will be Ogen Kere, where Sanak Mahama will be will be minister of information, then that is when it is Briggy. That is when it is called Biafra. That is absolutely satanic and lie. That is not what we are fighting. What we are fighting for is the freedom of Biafra. And there is no going back for that. That is my submission this afternoon. Thank you, my brother Chiefs.
Thank you so much, my brother. You have spoken well. I appreciate you for that amazing contribution. And before we move forward, let us listen to this intro.
On this day, we gather round to honor the heroes, lest they be forgot by Biafra soldiers.
To all Biafrans worldwide, from the Idoma to the Dede, the Igala to the Ogoni, the Ijo to Wanang, Orong to the Ekit, the Ikwere to the Igbo, and all Biafrans, mark your calendar. A historic moment is upon us. On Friday, May 30th, 2025, the United States of Biafra government proudly invites you, all citizens and allies of Biafra, to a 3-in-1 event to mark the Memorial Day of our heroes and heroines at the first ever Biafra Peace Summit and the inauguration of our DC administrative office, a beacon of hope, strength, and unity for all Biafrans.
Government, not the citizen, build up, we stand up one, united, in our land, guided, government making us proud every day, blessed by the people.
Fellow Biafrans, don't forget this very appointment, 30th of May, celebration of the Heroes Day, and the inauguration of our headquarters in the DC, where everything is happening. Washington, DC, that is where every country of the world had their headquarters. That is where decisions are made. That is where things are turned around. And finally, the Biafran government is going to the peak where things are happening, and the office will be opened on the 30th May. That same day is Peace Summit. So please get your ticket and make yourself available. 30th May is very, very symbolic. Very, very symbolic. A day we remember our heroes. Should be the right day to mark the opening of our headquarters in the United Kingdom. And a day of Peace Summit. Very well orchestrated and organized. I bet you, if you have the means, don't miss it. We have millions of Biafrans in the United States. If you are in the next state, the earlier you get your ticket now, the better for you. If you are waiting until the dying minute, you might not get the ticket. You know, some of us are very good at waiting until that dying minute. We have millions of Biafrans, and I bet you the place is limited. If you don't go on time, you might not be able to secure a seat for yourself. Go to the link on the platforms that we have and apply for your ticket so that you can be among those who are going to be there in that peace summit and open our headquarters and also celebrate the Heroes Day in style. It is a very important and memorable occasion. Don't fail to be there. Also, you have to remember that today, being Saturday, is a special day. It is a day that we have our fundraising. A day we come to raise funds to defend our land. Remember, all our message we've been talking about today is self-preservation, self-defense. This has to involve money. The government of Biafra has that responsibility to protect life and properties of Biafran people. And for them to do it effectively well, your support is needed. Financial support is needed from all angles. No amount is too small. Today we are having state fundraising. Remember, in that state fundraising, you make donation to your state. And whatever donation you make, you mention your state, the money will be sent to your own state command. The decentralization of the Biafran army is the best thing that has happened to the Biafran army to make sure that they will cover all areas. So in order to support your own state, to make sure that your own state is secured and protected, make your donation today, being the state fundraising. And every donation you make, mentioning the name of your state, the money will be registered to your state to secure life and property in your own state. This donation, you're not making it to Nnamdi Kanu, you're not making it to Biafran or to DPMDrNgoziOrabueze. You are doing it yourself to defend your land. These leaders are only people whom Chukwu Okike have chosen for himself, and they are your servants, serving Biafrans to make sure that we get to our promised land. Please, the support you can give them is to you to join today's fundraising. 7 p.m. Biafran time. Be there. Let's do it together and continue to push this message so that the Biafran people will be liberated and liberated forever. I appreciate everyone that is going to be there and those who are already here. Please, as you join us, share the program. Our platform is under heavy attack. That is why we cannot be able to reach the people we are supposed to reach. When we come online, you see 10 people, 15 people, 20 people. That is what they are doing to us now. They are trying to cage and restrict the people we reach. The only way we can reach more people is by you helping out to share the program. The social media network is not our friend, has never been our friend. The limitation is too much. The attack is too much. Please help us to share this program. That is the only way you can support this very platform. Share the program to all the platforms where you belong, to family and friends, so that this message will go wide. Remember, the radical evangelism is a duty that you and I have to perform. If you cannot come online to speak the way I and my brother Greg is speaking, you can do something by sharing our own product to others so that they can get this information. You never can tell who will lay his hand in this information and it will bring what we are asking for. Before we round up on the program of today, let us listen to the message of our Supreme Leader, Nnamdi Kanu, so that we can now round up, so that people can be able to preserve their data for the next program that is coming by 7 p.m. You know, we had a program yesterday, double. Today is also double. So let's try and close it on time so that people can prepare for the fundraising, which is one of the most important programs that we have these days. We have the fundraising and we have the Monday Sit at Home. These are the major events we have every week, and you can't afford to miss it. So let's hear from our Supreme Leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Then we conclude.
Mbe si ma chụrụ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ atụrụ ehi niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị chighata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wuzi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ngwa gị gbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe a rụgidere ụlọ a na ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwu okwu ka anyị nwee mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị iro kọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye ghara ndụ kpakụ onye ire rie n'ihe ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwekwe n'ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro ekwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ụmụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anyị agaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ
akụkọ akọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi wee kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ewu ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo ahụ kpafuru n'obodo Naijiria kaja
ọ bụ site na akpọmasị ihe na-eme anyị dịka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu ọkụka mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe kegbuo anyị nwu nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na na-esi etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu o doo na nyere onwe onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi a sị na achọghị ụdị nke ọ wụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ.
You have heard that message. That is the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. How many times are you going to be killed before you learn your lesson? How long will you continue to die before you do the needful? What else are you expecting to see before you know that the time is right for the Biafran people to do the needful? Get out of the Zoological Republic, create their own nation, and be whom they are supposed to be. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? How many people still need to die before you will know that it is now time for Biafran to defend themselves? How many lives do you still want to waste before you will now agree that the time is right for us to walk away? We have had enough, more than enough, and we cannot take it anymore. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you find yourself, prepare for what is coming. Self-preservation should be a full-time occupation for every one of us, just like the Fulani Janjaweed. Self-preservation should be a full-time occupation for us. Don't blink your eye. It is the first law of nature. The first law of nature is for you to preserve yourself. You preserve yourself before you begin to look for whom to preserve. And I pray that Chukwu Okekabiama will give us the strength to do what we have to do. My brother Greg, give us a closing remark as we round up on the program.
Yeah, well done, my brother. Thank you for your good work. And we just want to encourage Biafrans just to listen to that very message that this commander gave yesterday. He said when they went to see Nnamdi Kanu, he set a test for them, and all of them were giving the answers, and he told them no. And then he gave them the example of the best obedient soldier. The best obedient soldier is that one who go through the preaching and the word of his master, even when the master is not there. He stand on those things that master believe. So what Simon Ekpan fought from January to December 2024 was to make sure that he achieved United State of Biafra, the 40 state United of Biafra. And he did not achieve brig and still remain in brig. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been fighting to make sure that he achieved that United States of Freedom, which was pronounced on 29th of November. And in that mandate we stand. The mandate is freedom. The mandate that Biafra have been declared. The mandate is we have to do everything we can. The bigger fish should come with bigger firewood, and little fish come with little firewood. And then we'll stand and fight for our freedom. Biafra have been declared. So the next thing we are talking now is to make sure that we defend our land by chasing the Nigerian evil terrorists out of the Biafra, and then any other thing can take place. So any person telling you to fall back to Brigi because he want to get his position as a finance minister, as a minister of information in the cabinet, because his cabinet is not what makes Biafra. It is Biafra that makes cabinet. It's only way Biafra will come that will decide who will be in the Minister of Finance and Minister of Information and all those stuff they are fighting for. So now, Simon Ekpan have a surrogate. Before even the surrogate, Dr. NgoziOrabueze have been the chief of staff. Overruled every staff, both finance minister, both anything that called himself as a minister in that then brig. She was the second in command. And when our brother PM Simon Ekpan was taken away from the position on our reach, she take position automatic. It is a command of respect and authority. So it shall be. So any person telling you to fall to back or fall anywhere, we have passed the level of brig. We are now in the United States of Biafra. What we are asking now is people should come out to make sure that the land is defended, so that United States of Biafra will stand on his feet. So the international community did not tell us if we go back and can carry the answer finance minister in the brig before we can be recognized. It is not true. So let them not deceive you because of the layers they say called the lobbies. The layers lobbies is deceiving the Biafrans. He know the truth. So it is not brig or USB that will do it. What will make it is for us to fight out our land, and our land has been declared as independent Biafra, which is United States of Biafra. That is the independent United States of Biafra we are fighting for. So any person telling you to go back to Brigi, that person is lying for you. And the man was supposed to be working for the United States of Biafra government, not for a private person or individual. So it is the state of Biafra that gave that lobbyist contract. It is not Ogenkeri. The money was paying him by the money the Biafrans contributed. It was not Ogenkeri private money. That is, so whether Ogenkeri signed the contract on behalf of Biafrans, it doesn't make sense. So the man is talking trash. So we gave him contract. We, the United People of Biafra, gave him the contract he was supposed to do for us, not Ogenkeri. So falling back is rubbish. And there is no any person taking that message to you, call him a common criminal. So that is my message. So I support that commander that made that message yesterday. And I encourage Biafrans to follow it up. Thank you, my brother Choose, and God bless Biafrans today.
bless you too. Thank you so much, my beloved brother. I appreciate you for your support on this channel. And that brings us to the end of the program. I appreciate everyone that have participated in this program. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect all of you. Please continue to like and share so that others can get the information. Join us on today's fundraising. Give your widow's mite. It will go a long way to save life. Whatever you are doing, always remember self-preservation is something that we must hold dear to our heart. The first law of nature, we must preserve ourselves. We have fought for others for a long time. It is time to fight ourselves. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect all the Biafran people. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. NgoziOrabueze. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We pray that no weapon formed or fashioned against us shall prosper. Whatever the enemy's plan against us, it will never stand. Thank you so much for being part of this program. I will see you again during the fundraising by the grace of Chukwu Okike. Thank you so much and see you next.
Biafra,
my right to agitate, my right. They turned it from peaceable now to terrorism.
Breaking news reaching us now. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has been arrested, extradited to Nigeria, and is right now being arraigned at the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the Federal High Court.
It was an unjust war.
Long ago, in the heart of Biafra, a nation was born from the ashes of war. A war that scarred the land and its people, yet it never killed the spirit of freedom.
The war aim of Biafra is purely to prevent ourselves being slaughtered, nothing more.
It was in this land, scarred by conflict, that Nnamdi Kanu was born, a son destined to revive the dream of independence for Biafra.
And if anybody is going to judge our success and failure in this war, it will have to depend on how much we have prevented the enemy from killing us.
Raised with the echoes of his ancestors' struggles, Kanu understood that the wounds of war ran deep in the hearts of his people. The scars from the Biafran War, which ravaged the land and cost countless lives, had never healed. The dream of an independent Biafra, broken but not forgotten, lived on in the hearts of those who survived. It was these voices, these memories, that called him to action. As Nnamdi Kanu grew, so did his voice. He became a preacher of justice, a messenger for those who were unheard. He spoke not just for his generation, but for all those whose lives were shattered by the war. The pain of the past was alive within him, and his words resonated with the cries of the oppressed.
Their children have been there for a very long time. Osman Abubakar is in detention. Muhtab Umar is in detention. And DSS, they don't bring them to court. The families are here. Ibrahim Yahya is there as well. I was with them. Musa Kalamu is also there. Belief is also there.
But as Kanu's message spread, so did the fear of the establishment. His calls for self-determination grew louder, shaking the very foundations of the government. They feared the revival of a Biafran spirit, one that could awaken the wounds of the past and ignite a new conflict. And so, they moved against him. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, his body captured, but his spirit unbroken. The authorities believed that imprisoning him would extinguish the fire he had started. But they failed to understand the depths of his cause. The pain of the war, the bloodshed of the past, was not something easily forgotten. It was a flame that could never be fully extinguished. His arrest became a symbol of the struggle that began in the blood-soaked fields of the Biafran War. The demand for freedom was still alive. The fight for justice continued, not just for Nnamdi Kanu, but for all the lives lost, for all the children born into a world of scars. The fight for Biafra is not just his fight. It is the fight of all those who have ever dreamed of a free land. And though the past may haunt the present, the future is still unwritten. As long as the story of Nnamdi Kanu is told, as long as the voices of his people rise, the dream of Biafra lives on. Arrested again, 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 and yet again.
I agitate for Biafra. I agitate for Biafra, my right to agitate, my right. They turned it from treasonable felony now to terrorism.
This is Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Biafra land, listen. They thought they could silence me, but they didn't just cage me. They caged your spirit. They made you forget that our land still bleeds, that our people still suffer, that nothing has changed. 5 years in chains. But what about you? Are you not free? Or have they bound your voice with fear? The struggle was never about me, it was about you, your children, your land, your future. So I ask you, where is the fire that once burned in your heart? Where is the voice that once roared for freedom? Wake up! Rise again. Speak. Act. Remember who you are. This is Nnamdi Kanu.
Na mose vive na kiti enui na tulaje bwana mabuli vemelem kuja atibe kuona tulane bovo timalugo no nugo do koko do nyano be hule ndị Igbo na-atụ n'ilu n'anya kara aka n'akwa na-eri n'ụgba ngwụrụ ngwụrụ amatala iwe ọsọ jere fụta mgba ka nchụba dị ya ma ha bụrụ eziokwu elu na-agba akara aka elu ego n'ezi elu n'ụbọchị akara aka elu ego n'udezi maka na aba abane n'ụwa aralụ n'ute eyi ụmụ Biafra kụnye elu ụmụ Biafra kụnye elu ụnanụkwara igbe ọnọdụ ụlọ ọmọnọ n'ezi bịa kere nnu ọnọ n'enu lila tọnọ na ndagwurugwu senyi tọnọ n'ugwu ụgbọ na-ata ya ka anyị were ofu obi wee nataba n'ụba anyị maka na njụkọ n'ụwa milion wee gba ọfụfụ ma ha bụrụ eziokwu enyi n'aka ndị kwọta mmiri aka egbe agwachasị enyi ka aka ezu ezu ọpa bụrụ ebe wee lụta mmanụ ụmụ Biafra kụnye elu ka anyị were ofu obi wee nataba n'ụba anyị maka na ofu obi agbaka mma na anụgo n'onwe ụmụ Biafra na ekele unu niile nke a bụ nke anyị nwa adeti na ijele nwanyị bịa kene gị ọkwa gị bụrụ ụkwụ ekele n'afa ndị otu Biafra Izawa and the Biafra Izawa religion nke ọ dị na nwata chi eze amụrụ n'obi bụ onye iwere ya wesị ya kene arụ gị adụmegwu Chukwu ike mba one of Biafra land mmọnwụ be m odogwu na-eli akara ya dike nwafọ ndị Igbo jiri dị ebube bịa n'ebe ichebele mmọnwụ be m abụzikwa odogwu eji mara Igbo niile odogwu eji mara Biafra bịa adụmegwu Chukwu Papa gị si ekene lụgị Filip Efiong abụzikwa nwoke kwuru okwu wee kwụsị okwu si na Biafra ya ekunye na ya bụ Biafra ya tụrụ ugo wee nata mana bụrụ na ya bụ Biafra ekunyigo n'ọkụ ọgụlị nwata n'aka na-ele ọba gị si ekene lụgị onye ndu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu Amadike Biafra kedu ebe ị nọ Amadike Biafra bịa ọkwa gị bụ ofe onye tiri ndị iro mgbada nwụrụ anwụ n'isi
and cannot try my case. There are things that are happening in this country that a lot of you do not know. It is my duty to make that very, very clear to all of you today. Because the lies are too much. The lies are too much. I sent a petition to NGC
Dr. NgoziOrabueze
is using her position for personal gain. For personal gain. Her son and her husband are facing corruption charges. They told them that if they complete me, this is what happens. Nobody wants to do it. That's the problem. They sent her to my case. So they can
ndị nọ na exile cabinet bịa n'ụlọ n'umwe ọnụ ekene unu jisinu ike na Chukwu na ndị a na ya agba unu ube maka na onye sụrụ ọbịa ya atọ ka anyị malụ ga-enu eyi jisienu ike ekele m ndị Biafran Liberation Army ụmụ Chukwu ndị ejezọ Biafra land bịa kedenu the great oracles of Biafra na n'onu ọnụ ekene unu n'ama na nụnụ jisi ike n'ọrụ Chukwu ya gba unu ume ụmụ Chukwu asị ekene ya the Prime Minister H.E. Maazị Simon Eba abụzikwa agbata obi otu eliri ụmụ Biafra bịa n'ụlọ anụ nganga mpiote mgbe wile nna me mmiri na-arị ugwu bịa kudu akọ mmiri na-akwa n'onu mmụọ na-abụ abụ bịa keleli ọdọgiri dị m osefuru ndị ilo bịa n'ụlọ n'onwe makwale n'aka ose dị mma n'anya mgbe eji mụ agụ ka onye ilo si n'ọdịrọ nkasị onye ilo ya tinye isi onye ilo wee walọsọ abụzikwe nwa agbata obi ihe ọgada gidi dike bịa n'ụlọ ma o jiri kwala n'ihe bịa onyinye Chukwu nyere ndị Biafra na n'ụlọ n'ụlọ bekele gị asị m na ya adịrị ndị Biafra niile na mma asị na ya adịrị unu niile na mma ma ndị anyị na-akpọrọ nwe n'owutere anyị wee rie nne ma ndị anyị na-akpọ na n'udo n'ọnwụ maka na mgbe na-abọ ka ekwe na-agbọ dike ọgbọ ya na ndụ ọgbọ ya n'ọnwụ n'obi ife onye edobeli na-edere n'ụwa ma abụrụ ife emeleme a good legacy will last forever ma abụrụ ife emeleme and the remembrance of my bless you.